stuff's coming through to...
Again, I just want to throw out there. Impressive how quick that happens.
It's terrifying. If you how many places go. I mean, that's got to go away through Russia and be analysed by their security experts.
That's it. And they do it all without causing too much of an impact.
No.
In theory, the audio shouldn't be too bad. I'll just... No. Yeah, wow, I didn't realise that took quite that much of a hit. Oh well. I'll have to grab another mic.
Yeah.
I did click recording as well, didn't I? If not, I'll just pull down the VOD.
Right, is it my laptop?
Have we lost sound?
I've got no sound on this.
Hang on.
Not muted.
Hang on.
Oh, it could be my laptop, to be fair.
I'm just going to turn off the fucking tinterwebs. Where's me Twitch? Where the fuck's Rand Nerds at? Oh, there it is.
Well, definitely streaming to Twitch.
There we go.
Your audio?
Where the fuck's Rand Nerds at?
Oh,
yeah, there we go.
It's my laptop.
Wait, why is
It's
it?
my laptop. I don't know. It's fine.
Are the speakers muted?
No?
Huh. How odd.
Oh, I wonder if...
Oh, have you connected up to a TV or anything?
Yeah,
So the audio's defaulted to...
Yeah. I reckon that's the problem.
I do that all the time, my machine. I'm like, where's all the
I'm not
sound?
gonna worry about that. I don't need to fiddle with the audio now.
Fair that.
I don't need to fiddle with it. I've got the chat. That's the main thing. That's what I worry about. So...
Hang on. Welcome back, Ram.
Hey, welcome back. It's good to be back.
You survived. How was your adventure?
Very good, very good. So yeah, Land Rover show, awesome. You did get it right.
It was a Land Rover show.
It was a Land Rover show because I was watching. You nearly said it was a Jeep show. I thought my heck was
I did that
raised.
just to wind you up. There. I was like, what is it again?
Jeep.
It's the American one, isn't it? Jeep.
Jeep's American, Land Rover's British.
Yeah.
In fairness, Land Rover started by looking at the American Jeeps going, that's a good idea, let's just copy one. So
let's just do that.
So in fairness, that's how they get started. However, they made it their own.
Let's just do that, but make it not American.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, yeah, I mean, they were really the guy who designed them was really heavy into being an agricultural vehicle because the first Land Rovers actually had PTOs, power takeoffs, like a tractor.
Yeah.
So there's videos of when they were advertised and there's videos of them ploughing with them and like sort of working fields with them.
Yeah, why not? I suppose.
Yeah.
Look handy.
Yeah, but no, the show was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, got there, drove in, and we went to my Skoda.
All right.
But it was quite good as we got in. They're like people directing traffic and queues.
Yeah.
And there was in front of us like Defender, Discovery. Those are all Land Rovers. Land Rover, and the guys sort of directed them to one side, which is quite near because we've got there quite early. I thought, oh, that's good. We're not quite going to be quite near to the parking. As we drove up, he just put his hand up saying stop, and then just pointed us the opposite way, so like the non-Land Rover section. So there's like actual segregation going on. The Land Rover section was like another half a mile away from the entrance.
Oh my god!
Yeah, he said all the Land Rovers got the part nearby. If you want a Land Rover, you got sent down to
vehicle racism, man.
It was, yeah, it was proper segregation going on.
That's actually that was quite funny because when you went to that convention, like loads of places put up, Land Rover and Range Rover videos, like Drive Tribe.
Yeah.
Richard Hammond, James May, and Jeremy Clarkson put up videos about new.
Well, because the new Defender's been launched.
Well, there you go.
New Defender. It wasn't actually at the show because this is not an official Land Rover show. This is Land Rover's Owners International, which is a magazine about Land Rovers.
Oh, right.
This is their show. So the Defender got launched like 2 days previous because the Defender looks awesome. I literally watched the car wow video on the Defender and sort of fell in love.
And you sat there thinking, I want two.
Yeah, but they said, do you want the starting price of the new Defender is?
Dare I ask?
£40,000.
Fucking hell, son.
Yeah. If you have the one for all singing, all dancing, with all the fit, all the bets added to it, £80,000.
Mate, that's nearly the value of my house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Has it got a bed in it?
You can put a bed in it.
You
can
can bath in it. It's a Land Rover. What do you need
Yeah,
that for?
it's an Android. You can put all that stuff on as a mod. Well,
It's an optional extra, the shower pack.
Yeah, you can buy. There's something like there's going to be something like how many hundreds of accessories you're about to buy for your new Defender.
That's
They look awesome though. I was watching that, and they actually have a higher ground clearance than the old Defender. Because they've got air suspension. You can have coils or air suspension. The air suspension can raise up by like 100 millimeters, something silly like that. So you can have higher ground clearance than a normal.
That's one of those stand-up desks then.
It is a normal Defender. You have to climb into. They are tall. I think the Defender's about my Freelander. It's got 200. I had 205 mil ground clearance, which is quite tall. My Defender's 280. Because it's got bigger wheels on it than standard, so it's actually 280. So yes, you actually climbed into a Defender, and this one can go even higher.
And got you a ladder.
Yeah. Oh no, you don't, because it's air suspension.
Well, yeah, now you can lower it, but in the previous
when
models.
you unlock it, when you open the door and lock it, lowers down so you can get in easy, and then raises itself back up again.
I see. Please tell me it's not. They haven't gotten away. Like they haven't got rid of like just using an actual key, and it's not one of those stupid fob things.
You can do. I think you can have a normal key, or you can have a. It's their version of the wireless key is actually on a wristband.
Oh right.
So you can't. So if you go kayaking, you can't lose it.
Oh sure.
Which is a neat idea. I think was really for doing that. Actually having it actually attached to you somehow physically.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Embedded under your skin.
Yeah. Why not?
Well, no, cause it bugged me actually because like, the only reason I mention it is because my parents have got one of those stupid cars with
Nanny.
You have to have a fob to start the damn thing and to get into the damn thing, and when the battery runs out, you can't start the fucking car.
Well, my Freelander had a push start ignition, but you still had to put the fob in. So still sort of put the fob in. It wasn't like my dad's SX4, which basically as long as you had it on you.
Yeah, that's like what my folks is like as well.
So, which I quite, to be honest.
It's neat, but what happens when the battery runs out and you can't poke it anywhere to start the car?
Well, on my SX4, if the actual fob actually has a key that pulls out, which you then use instead.
That's in my dad's done.
Yeah, it varies. Some of them they usually have a way to overrule them and bypass them somehow. There's normally something in there.
It's called just leave it there.
Get a cab. It's probably a case of it's there, but no one's able to look at the manual to see where it is.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, what I don't like is new electronic handbrakes, because those there's no way. I asked a friend about this because his car's got one. And I said to him, if the car, because in the old days, if your car battery died, take the handbrake off your jump starter. I said,
yeah.
Is there any way to release the electronic handbrake if your battery dies? No. No way at all to release it.
Annoying.
So you either have to power it up somehow, with some power up so you can release the brake.
Yeah.
Or you have to get a lorry with a dolly to lift up the locked wheels and tow you.
What an ass.
Yeah.
Just what's out there, right? Cars these days, right? They're more advanced, they're better to drive, they're safer. Fucking hell, they're such a ball ache.
Some are, some aren't. My Skazz's got some annoying features on it.
Just does my nut in.
My Skazz, for some reason, they decided. So it's got heated wing mirrors, which are lovely. Lovely in this winter time. You can just put on the deep front mirrors really quickly. Most cars are push button, or it's linked to your heated rear screen. So when my Defender was, my Freelander was, you put it on, it heated everything up in one go.
Yeah.
In the Skoda, it's on the same dial used to adjust the windscreen, the one that does the mirrors. So you have to sort of turn it round to the heated function and remember to turn it back off again.
Oh.
Absolutely stupid design. Stupid design. When it could be, a button is what you need.
It's a feature.
It was absolutely stupid. But yeah, Land Rover Show, great. So we got in, brilliant place. You could buy anything you want for your Land Rover. There were people out there walking out with whole bulkheads and like bumpers. And I saw 4 guys, each with a tyre and a wheel and a tyre, each rolling them out to their cars. They might have stolen them. I don't know. But I'm assuming they bought them off somebody. And then there was the main arena, and they were doing...
The main arena, making like a monster truck show.
You're not joking. We went to the main arena, and they were doing like a massive heavy-duty off-road course for the Defenders. People were having to drive their Defenders through this off-road course, and it was insane. I mean, there was
do know the most treacherous thing any Land Rover is ever going to see? London.
Yeah. Not these ones, weren't. These ones had all been jacked up and all sorts to get through it, because I mean, it didn't look that tall from when we were sitting. When we actually got down there, she looked at us like really high up. But yeah, there was one that nearly got cross-axled. So cross-axle is where, so you got your front axle, which obviously can go all the way left, all the way right, up and down independent, and the rear one wants to do the same. However, if they do the opposite, they get what they call cross-axled. So imagine your front right reel is all the way down, front left reel is all the way up, and rear left reel is all the way down, rear left's all the way up. So from the back, it looks like a cross.
Yeah,
and that's really awkward to get out of. But those task doing it, putting their way out is amazing. And best bit, they had a big Land Rover seesaw. You drove up this massive. I mean, it was. I don't know how high in the air it was, but it was at least double my height in the air. You drove up onto the seesaw halfway, stopped, and the weight of your vehicle would tip the seesaw over, and then you drive off the other end.
Oh dear.
Yeah, and then there was the guy there was one the people doing the rock climbing Land Rovers. They were like, they were having to drive in, had to climb over all the massive rocks and get winches in and winch themselves through. It was insane.
You had fun.
Oh, great fun!
It's like a rock concert for Land Rovers.
Yeah. We met some weird old beasts there. Weird beasts. There was a Ranger that had been converted into a fire engine.
Right.
Yep, and it was commissioned that you're going to like this by the Royal Navy for use at their airports.
Wait. Wait. All right. I don't think that quite matches up.
It was said in the information that the Royal Navy commissioned these vehicles for use in their airfields.
Guys, wrong job.
Isn't that awesome? Had 6 wheels.
Fair that.
Yeah, well, had to have an extra axle on the back because obviously they took the back of the Range Rover and put massive water tanks on the back.
It's a water engine.
It's fire engine. So yeah. It's still in use. It goes to rallies in like Wales and stuff and tows people out of like if they get stuck on the rally circuit, it tows them out and all sorts.
Yeah.
And it's got still got the firefighting equipment on board so they can put the cars out to catch fire. Absolutely amazing, yeah. Really cool. I bought myself an impact wrench socket set.
Good job.
For £18.50. I was amazed. I was expecting to pay a lot more than that, and I paid £18.50 for it. It was great.
You walked out, you ran out, you thought it was a steal.
Well, when the guy said to me, I was in my head, I bought these 2 bits, in my head I was expecting to pay like sort of 50 quid. When he said £18.50, I said, is that right? For that? And he goes, yeah, we do a really good price for the shows. I was like, yeah, you do. I'm going to come buy some more stuff.
Made by Ping in China.
Yeah. No, it's really decent quality stuff. I've tried.
Are you saying that China doesn't make decent quality stuff? How dare you?
Either Ram has a bit of a sunburn, or the drugs are finally kicking in, or I'm already hallucinating. Why not all of them?
All of them.
It could all be free. It was very sunny at the Land Rover show.
In fairness, you are looking a tad crispy, dude.
I don't know why, because I've not been out. I have to take my glasses off. See, I look normal now. But I took my glasses off because that's blurring my glasses.
What you're saying is, if you look at my screen, you just look like a blob.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? I have got a bit of panda eyes going on, haven't I?
Yeah. Well, you did in the last one as well.
Did I?
That's what you get for going outside, you crazy fucker.
I know. I could go on the farm and stuff and go outside and seeing actual outsideness.
It's like, oh my god, you keep seeing that weird fireball.
I do. I'm so scary. I keep thinking it's going to come close one day.
Yes, Australians keep telling me.
I've worked out though. It's part of the skybox, so it's fine.
Fair that. Because I mean, Australians and Californians keep telling me that's called the sun, and I'm like, stop lying to me, man. I'm from the UK. I've never seen a sun.
No, it's all a lovely sort of diffuse colour.
They're like, look at this blue skies, no clouds.
It's clearly a point light.
Why are you not talking shit about it? Yeah. What's this blue stuff you're looking at?
What amazed me in the outside world is how little rendering time there is. I never see pop-up. Sometimes in the server's being harsh because it's really misty. So also at those days the server
draw distance.
The server must be on a lot of strain on those days. Just had to mist everything up so it doesn't look so it can reduce the draw distance down. That's the only logical explanation. They say it's water moisture. That's just some bullshit some game devs come up with to explain it.
Yeah. Some shit they've had to come up with to start a new graphics card.
Yeah. They're out there, people who are just driving through and they can't see that miss because they've got the better graphics card. They've got the better rendering distance.
Oh dear.
Yeah. And this is why I keep telling people in the army what they do when they're in the army. Just make sure before they go into battle, they set everything down to the lowest graphical thing possible, so it gets rid of all that terrain, so they can see people for the terrain. Anyway, shall we start the podcast?
Yeah, sure. Why not, mate?
Good evening, I'm TheSuffolkRam.
Skazz.
Welcome to episode 123 of the Randos podcast. I nearly said 122, but I stopped myself.
Was that? Wait.
Is it 123? Hang on a second. Just checking. Yeah, it's 123.
Is it? Did I say the right podcast?
You
then?
did.
Did I?
You did.
Oh, I'm proud of myself.
Podcast set it all up for you, ready?
I didn't have a clue, mate. I didn't have a clue. You know how I ended up checking?
How?
I checked the raw files to see what the last podcast was I edited.
And you were assuming you had edited the last podcast and sent it to me.
Oh.
Hey, whatever works, works.
It was a podcast and I did it somehow.
Yeah, it was a
worked.
It was a good night.
It happened. It was so quick no one turned up.
Yeah, Tom Middlemeister thought it was the best one we've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say we've, that's ever been done. He thought it was the best one he's seen. He said,
how does a rock tune in?
Someone tuned in for him.
Ah.
He's
Someone popped her in front of the...
No, what is someone's put the rock in front of a constant our YouTube channel out constantly.
Oh,
He's got nothing. He can't see anything else but our YouTube channel.
That poor bugger. So when we go live,
it's just a bit of enjoyment for an hour. In that case, 36 minutes of those 2 weeks, he had enjoyment.
anytime, man.
Anytime. Well, we're always here for you, Middlemeister.
Bless him.
Yeah.
You're not here for us.
Bless him. He's thinking about coming this week. I did ask him.
He did think about
yeah,
coming. That means I have to get another stool and another microphone.
Yeah. Well, no, we can sort of create some sort of stereo effect.
Yeah, just sit there.
It's all sort of bunched together really tightly.
There used to be times when we used to record on a single mic. It sounded shit, but
Yeah, well,
whatever.
It worked, sort of.
That's sort of.
So. Right, so yeah, back to the podcast.
Games we've been playing?
I said games we've been playing.
Have you played anything over the last 2 years that you haven't been here?
I have been playing. And
Please don't tell me we're happy for you.
No, I've come off We Happy Few.
Woo!
No. I actually took a break from We Happy Few.
Oh, you took a break? I thought, has he finished it?
No, I took a break because I got onto the last section. I got past the woman. I got onto the last guy section. And I got to a point where it's like, yeah, I'm taking a break from this now. You'd like him. Because he's a
dickhead.
He's a dickhead. No, he's not. He's got a heart of gold, but he's a bit of a dickhead. So very similar.
Sure.
But his little mechanic is he's got diabetes.
Oh, brutal.
And you have to maintain his sugar level. If you get too high, your health starts to drop. And if you get too low, your stamina goes down and you'll randomly insult people.
That sounds very familiar.
It is amazing. It's amazing because I was doing a stealth section. His sugar level got to go, and I'm hiding from this constable, and he just swore at him. And
He just picked his head up. Oi, prick!
Yeah, you were stealth, mate. He just swears at people. So you got to maintain his sugar level.
Look at that fucking dickhead.
Brilliant.
Jesus Christ, mate.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit.
He's gone for a perfect stealth run all the way up to the last bit. Oi, cock!
Yeah. But he's bloody tough. I mean, I've beefed him all up for his toughness stats, so he's really tough. Really take a beating.
Just toughness doesn't solve being a diabetic.
No, it does not solve being a diabetic.
It's unfortunate.
You have to go raid beehives and steal their honey. You do. That's how you get your honey from. It's by stealing from beehives. Or you find honey in a house.
As you do.
I keep looking for the Three Little Bears house and not come across it yet.
Have you not?
No, I don't think it's there.
Try harder.
I will do.
It's real.
Well, it's somewhere out there. It's in book form, so it must be real.
It's got to be real.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm not playing Really Happy Few. And I will admit, part of me goes, I best play something else.
Good.
I better not talk about that game for technically a fifth week on the row. So I have been playing instead Subnautica.
All right.
Now, Bard spoke about Subnautica when
did.
it was early access many, many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Sim's been released, full access. I don't know how different from the version he played, but I've wanted to play it for a while. I planned to play it on our 24-hour live stream, but I didn't get around to it.
It's another one of those games that looks very similar to other games of the time, like graphics wise.
It is very pretty.
Yeah.
I haven't. There's a VR mode for it, which I haven't tried. Because I'm not sure. It depends on how you move in it. So if VR, I can only do teleportation moves. I can't do.
You can't do the physical walk around move.
No, and because you can't, in some cases you just stand there, you might get attacked. You need to. So I haven't quite dared to try in VR yet.
Was always saying you got to get the spew bag attached to your head before you
so
start playing.
it fits on like a horse's sort of bag.
It's like a feed bag.
Yeah, like a feed bag. Just sort of hooks around your ears, fits on there, and you have to sort of. It comes with a little. It's smart, so it tells you when it's getting quite full. So you get a little icon appear on your little VR headset. You really want to empty your bag.
As soon as your nose starts to dip into it.
The first one is don't look up. Whatever you do, don't look up in your game. And the second one is like, okay, seriously, you're going to drown if you don't. If you don't enter this soon, you're going to drown.
This ain't going to taste good or smell good at this point.
Yeah, it's going to drown, and you're not going to have a pleasant experience as you die.
I've never known drowning to be particularly pleasant.
Yeah, but you're drowning your own sick.
Have a super happy fun time in a drowning world.
I mean, if you're going to drown, at least want to drown something you might actually enjoy in real life. Drowning a big vat of whiskey, say, because then you probably, by the time you actually die, you probably don't care anymore.
No.
Yeah, or in your case, a big vat of traditional iron brew.
Oh, that'd be amazing. That would be amazing.
Well, he really thrashed really fast right towards the end. Yeah, it's the sugar getting into it.
He really hope this is convulsing even when he's dead.
Yeah.
No, they'll say, "Oh, but look, that was the last of the old school iron brew left, and he's ruined it." Well. At least his corpse hasn't ruined it as much as the company that makes the current stuff.
Sick burn.
Fucking shots fired, you bastards.
But yeah, drowning your own sick. I mean, I always feel sorry for these people end up dying by drowning in slurry tanks. I mean,
not good.
No, that's not a...
Drowning, just a little tip for everyone. Drowning is not advised.
No, we don't recommend drowning.
No.
And if you see two people in water... One of them is very calm, but it's not seen to be very, very overtly calm, not worried at all. And one is thrashing about. Save the calm one because they're actually drowning. Because apparently, when you're right towards the end, when you drown, some mammalian reflex kicks in. You just go very calm. Just sit there and stand there. And you're the one who's thrashing about is actually still okay at the moment. They're not going to drown just yet.
They're not quite in the shock state yet.
No. So yeah, save the one who's actually thrashing about. Who isn't thrashing? Save the one who isn't thrashing about. Plus, it'll be easier if they're not thrashing about.
Or you just put them on your arm.
But if there's only one person then they're thrashing about, do save them. Don't
just
wait for them to go still and then save them.
Stand there looking at his watch. I got about.
He's not drowned quite enough yet for us to save him.
I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Let me go get a cup of tea.
Yeah. He's not quite drowned enough yet.
Oh.
I've got a vision of now you on the rescue helicopter with your steaming cup of tea. Not another one. Third time this week. I tell you, we need to get a faster kettle. I keep telling you this. Oh well. Yeah.
Well, maybe next time.
Yeah. I just got a vision of you like making your guys thrashing about. You're making a cup of tea, and he's at the stage where you could go rescue him. You start walking about and go, I've got to put the sugar in. And have to turn around.
Do you want one, mate?
He's been very quiet down there. You can
one sugar or two. All right. Drop the cup. you're oh shit.
So, Mr. Skazz, how did you get sacked from the search and rescue operation team? Wow.
Tea is very important.
That's why you go work to Twinings afterwards.
We weren't going for the W, folks.
Anyway, yeah, so...
What have you been playing, mate?
Subnautica. We've had this conversation already.
Yep. Was it good?
It is good, yeah.
Do you drown people with the cups of tea?
No, you don't drown people with cups of tea. It's only you in it. You do encounter... That's not true. There are other people who were in it, but they are long since dead.
That's the one where they're building the little bases and that, and in the little pods.
You basically... It starts off with you're on a ship in orbit.
Yep.
And it crashes. It comes down, crashes down. You're going to crash. So you manage to eject in an escape boat, and you land on the surface of this ocean world, and you literally open the hatch, and all you can see is the ship in the distance. You're your little life raft
Yeah.
is damaged in the crash and so forth, and there you are, you're stuck there. But what you do have, you get a PDA that boots into emergency mode, that basically has information on basic survival gear.
Yep.
You have a machine that can basically have they call it a fabricator, so a bit like it's basically you can convert one thing to another.
It's a Star Trek 3D printer.
Yeah, basically. Although it can't, where Star Trek can convert anything to anything. It can
convert a glass of water into toilet paper.
Well, Star Trek replicators actually convert energy into mass. Just saying. They don't actually. They literally upset Einstein and convert mass into energy, energy into mass, and vice versa. They use the same technology as teleporters, as transporters. Doesn't work, but
I don't trust anything that mentions teleportation. I'm just saying.
Star Trek transporters you shouldn't do because it's been pretty much established that you literally the person you see at the other end is actually a copy.
Yeah, you get disintegrated.
Yeah, you're gone. You're gone. They somehow sort of have come up with this bullshit thing that no, your brainwaves get transferred somehow by magic, so you're sort of technically the same person. Yeah. No, you're not. You're just replicated at the other end. And they said this, and they promptly disproved their own theory by accidentally creating a second Riker, Next Generation.
Oh dear.
They go to a place where Riker's been to, and they find a second Riker there, who got created when the guy sort of like created 2 transporter beams on Riker for one go, and then it's one back down, so you end up with one Riker up. And this one Riker went off and had his career in Starfleet. The other one got left behind this abandoned station for several years. He was pissed.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah.
What are you upset for? You've had a great career. It's
Hilaire becomes a terrorist.
He did. I didn't.
Yeah. Hilaire become a terrorist.
I didn't even have toilet roll.
Yeah.
I've been wiping my ass on fucking steel panels.
Oh.
It's a bit chilly from time to time.
At least you aluminium. Yeah. So you have this fabricator which can make things. You also have a medical fabricator that makes a med kit every half an hour. And you have a little razor that's broken initially. And your environmental suit allows you to do sort of dive into water, and you just dive into water. Initially, you just you pick up fish, and fish can be cooked by the fabricator into food. There's a fish called a bladderfish, which converts into water bottles, just as it does.
Okay.
I remember barting that last time, and I thought that's ridiculous, and I think that's still ridiculous. The fish somehow converted in. Yeah. Because I've yet to find any.
Just imagine you just take a fish out and just fill it up.
Yeah, I
sucking on the end of a fish.
Well, but it actually filters the water, it filters the salt and stuff out of the water, and between the large bits of poo. So it turns into filled with water.
Is that another one that's like it's designed around the same kind of setup as Ark? The same UI and all that, or I can't remember. There's like a series of games that look very much like it. I just can't quite put my finger on which one it is.
I wouldn't say it might be too much of Ark, because Ark, on this one, it's not as in depth a survival scenario. All you've got to worry about is your health, which is pretty standard in most games, food and water. That's really it. Whereas Ark, you have to worry about temperature and all that sort of stuff. This one it's a survival game, but a light touch survival game.
Okay. Watch out for sharks. Space
sharks. Watch out for sharks.
Krakens.
There are Krakens in it.
Cthulhu.
I think he's in it somewhere. Well, there's these things called Leviathan class organisms, which are these fucking massive things. Most of the first ones you encounter, it's all just docile things that just all like eat plankton and you're quite safe from. But there are probably some nasty ones in there as well. Mm-hmm. You can count those. You've got these. There are sharks. There is this weird creature called a mesmer. And as you're swimming about, and at first my camera was just swimming about, and your computer's talking to you, and all of a sudden the screen goes a bit blurry in the edges, and it's sort of like the distance. There's this like light in the distance, and the computer's saying, "Your new primary objective is to get as close as possible to that beautiful creature over there. Just keep heading towards it. Just keep going that way."
I don't think to myself, no.
Well, my first thought was, I'm turning away. If you're too close, though, basically it just overpowers you. You just drift up to it, and it just takes off half your health in one bite.
The game's like, yeah, you're dead, mate.
Yeah.
That's what you get for following that stupid computer. Yeah. That's what got you into this mess.
Yeah. But I think they've developed more the storyline now. There is a storyline to it.
Right.
So once you get repairs, when you repair your ship, repair your radar, you'll start getting comm calls from other lifeboats, saying, hello, we're so-and-so, we're trapped, we found this, right there, we need help, and you can go and find them and rescue, and, well, you can't rescue that. So far, I'm pretty sure there's no one else alive in the whole game. I'm pretty sure there's no one else alive.
You.
So you tend to find the remains of their boats, their life craft. But pretty quickly you realise that it all's going well until you eventually get contacted by a ship that says, oh yeah, we're going to be landing soon, we're going to come rescue you soon. Don't worry, we're on the way to you. Oh yeah, here's your landing coordinates. We'll be there in in real time, about 45 minutes. In game time, it's about 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
So off you go, you do your thing, and you get there. When you finally get to this bit, all of a sudden you find this big fuck-off mega alien structure.
All right.
Yeah. Now, I won't tell you what happens later on, but then it says still need rescuing.
It's a full game now, right?
Yeah.
Because I think they've got an expansion pack as well, haven't they?
There's
been extra stuff.
I think there's a new game coming out, but it's like separate from it's like a sequel.
Oh, right. So I was going to say a friend of mine has streamed it, and it looked kind of neat, but to me, I was like, is there really a point? Like, really?
Is there a point to most games?
Yeah. Finish the story.
Well, in that case, yes, there is. There is a story to finish.
Cool.
I mean, it's sort of that issue of, you get your base, you build your base up. Initially you only have like your little PDA says I've only got 20% of the blueprints in my database because it's been corrupted. And as you go around and find the ship sections, you scan them. You'll find remains of other equipment and you can scan it. Now add recipes to your BJ database, you scan them.
How unfortunate would it be if you don't have one of those toughened, waterproof PDAs?
Very unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
Very unfortunate. There's no recipe for that either.
You're like, oh no. Oh, crap. Water damage.
Apple won't accept this.
Are we still got insurance?
Yeah.
Oh, what do you mean it's not covered for fucking alien water damage? Bastards!
The little computer on board the ship. Where is the nearest Genius bar?
It's like
2,000 light years away. Fuck.
Oh, how long will it take for Royal Mail to come pick it up?
To be fair, if Royal Mail will come pick it up, you might as well just ship yourself back. Yeah. Do you do live cargo transports? Excellent.
Good job.
Excellent.
I'll see you sometime after I'm dead.
Yeah. Just get that bit.
My great grandchildren may see you at some point. Wait, it's just me.
No, you're okay.
No one will.
No, you're okay. They have very good FTL travel because there's another ship that's implied to come from another galaxy to help you out. So they clearly have. They don't have a problem with FTL travel. That's not an issue. They've got 3D printers, so they're clearly highly advanced.
Yeah.
They can turn fish into water bottles. I mean...
yeah, what more do you want? Is that how we gauge how advanced?
It's a known fact. There's several...
So we're not quite advanced yet.
There's several phases in society when they develop things. So nuclear physics, splitting the atom, that's one sort of milestone. The wheel was the first one. Then there was splitting the atom. Then there was transistors. And then it's turning fish into water bottles. Those are the known steps of the society.
We're not there yet.
We're not there yet, no. We're relatively primitive. I
was going to say, what you're saying is we're basically cavemen.
If NASA accidentally encounter like another alien race out there, and they're going to go and they're going to look at us and they're going to, have you done the fish into water bottles yet? And you'll go, no.
We're like, what are you talking about?
And they'll say, how did you use this technology? Some guy back 2,000 years ago, he managed to turn water into wine, and yet you can't convert fish into water bowls.
So, look.
He was a one-off, okay? He was a one-off.
He was one of those outliers, all right? We thought, and most of the planet at this point thinks that's a complete and utter bollocks story. Wait, you're saying that was true?
Yeah, we met him.
Oh, shit. Wait, we could have done that too?
Yeah.
Why are we even paying these French bastards for it? God damn it!
Yeah.
Wait. He was real.
Yeah.
And he came back to life, for all of our sins and all that fluff, and then went to go see his dad. So what you're saying is, he actually owns a vineyard in France. He's French.
He's French with very good healthcare.
Bastard.
Yeah, that's now established fact.
Yeah, that is
That's
fact.
now part of the canon of the Rand Nerds universe. But yeah,
Jesus is in France.
yeah, he retired there. He's still there.
That's like, Elvis has got his own private island in the Bermuda Triangle with Buddy Holly, Road Warrior Hawk,
Yeah,
Kurt Cobain. Kurt Cobain just serves tea. He's not actually a talent to go there.
He's just there. Well, they had a spare seat, didn't they?
They were like, "Oh, mate, we need someone to do all the shit jobs around here, and Elvis can't be bothered to employ any maids."
Yeah. Well, that's an awkward situation, because you got the super secret island and where all the secret people live. How do you get builders in? I mean, someone's got to do it, and you can't trust a builder.
No. I mean, can you really trust a druggy grungy?
Whenever they need a builder or electrician or plumber, who do they get in?
Well, Elvis clearly does all that himself.
You think
He's the king.
he's a good plumber?
Well, yeah, mate. I mean,
That's
he was testing that
established
toilet
fact.
pretty hardcore.
That's established fact. He was a good plumber. But yeah, I mean, what else can these guys do? I mean, boom. But switching back to things. So yeah, you collect materials, you start building up a sea base. I've hit a couple of little roadblocks, like I can build connected sections of my base. I can't build rooms yet.
Why not?
Because I haven't unlocked the blueprint for it. I've got half the blueprint.
Oh right, so you can build an area, not assign it to anything.
I can build corridors. I can't build rooms. Apparently, the knowledge to go from a corridor to a room is one of those other great leaps of knowledge.
No, expanding a corridor, I can to make it
Into a room.
I can, that could be quite difficult. So, I mean, have you just been putting doors at ends of corridors?
I've just basically just got lots of corridors which are forming rooms because they're all full of lockers which all my stuff is in.
Oh, there you go.
I keep building lockers to put all my.
You've got locker corridors rather than locker rooms.
I've got full of It's like a high school. I've just got lockers everywhere. Just full of. I've got lockers
There's
full
loads
of
of bullying, drugs, and teenage pregnancy.
No, most of my lockers are full of titanium, which is like the material you need. I've literally got 8 lockers full of titanium at the
Are
moment.
you 3D printing titanium?
No, what you do is
You get the fish, mate.
You
get
scraps from the ship that crashed, and then it breaks it down into titanium.
I was gonna say, what are you doing? What are you doing to them fish, mate?
Oh, I'm cooking the fish
I was
mostly.
gonna say I wouldn't eat those.
I've
if they turn to
eaten
titanium.
most of the fish in the.
I've eaten most of my water bottles.
Yeah, I think some fish are better tasty than others. So
Yeah, because some of them you're not pissing into.
yeah, no, it's not fish. But yeah, I'm building my sea base up, and I'm sort of gradually uncovering the sort of mystery of it. And the big sort of end game is you can basically you get plans to build a rocket ship.
Right.
And so the end game is to basically build the rocket and leave.
All right.
So there is an actual end game goal, but
Okay.
there are things that will, until you resolve them, will prevent you from leaving.
Oh, okay.
So, which is quite cool. And you can it's surprisingly in depth because, realistically, if you're just doing free swimming, you can only probably get down to about 300 meters before basically you're not going to have enough oxygen to get further down.
Mm-hmm.
But you can get little submarines. Up to one massive fucking submarine. It's got its own vehicle bay.
All right.
Yeah, it's got its own it's actually got rooms in it, and it's meant to have a crew of 3. But you can run it by yourself.
It's meant to have a crew of 3, but I'm the only person around, so
That's going to do me. But you can build that as well. And run fuck off as a submarine. That's going to be awesome when I get that.
I don't like scuba diving.
I find sometimes you get into the rabbit hole that is YouTube, where sometimes you'll find a video you think is interesting and you start looking at other videos related to it.
I don't use YouTube.
Well, okay.
Well, you use YouTube. All I've done is change the profile on the streamy jig.
There you go. So I got down a rabbit hole of like underwater videos, like not sort of people being idiots, but sort of like the sort of like industrial scuba divers and so forth, some places they go down. And what led me onto it was I read a story of these guys, and these guys were nearly a Darwin Award winners. They decided they were there was a dam, a hydroelectric dam.
Yeah.
And you could do scuba diving nearby. They were doing a night dive nearby a hydroelectric dam. They thought it'd be a good idea to swim down and go into one of the intake pipes.
Why?
To see what it was like, I suppose. So he swam down, went into the intake pipe, and apparently the whole way they were going down this intake pipe, this guy said, I know, it's like someone was telling me, don't go any further. This is not a good idea. Right? At that point, he started hearing an alarm. And he suddenly realised they were switching on the turbine.
Ugh.
So he managed to get his guy back. They managed to get out there before the turbine switched on. Presumably, he said you can only assume the alarm was in the machine room, just echoing through the pipes, or it was deliberately to say, if you're diving in this intake pipe, get the fuck out, otherwise your fish chow at the other end.
Good job.
Yeah, and because I started looking up these fucking turbines down. Fucking hell, they're terrifying. And the other one I found, brilliant video I found, was I always get the phone name. Is it Spilled Pond? So basically, when you imagine you've got a turbine, you've got water flushing down, pushing its way through at really high speed. At some point, you shut a valve down, but all that water's got momentum.
Yeah.
Now, if that water's got nowhere to go, that's a lot of force coming down. So they have these big foot-off rooms that are basically like massive reservoirs, like a header tank.
Yeah, it tanks it.
And so, as the water goes flushing up, fills this whole room up temporarily to basically dissipate all that energy, and then it floods back down. And I've watched a video on these rooms, and I thought, that isn't that big. And I thought, I saw these massive pipes coming in. I thought, that's not that big. And I looked down, I thought, hang on a second. That little dot there is a set of stairs. Holy fuck, that's a big room. And it's floods. I mean, there must have been thousands upon thousands and thousands and thousands. I don't think how many tens of thousands of litres of water, probably more, full of room and then drain down. But yeah, I started watching these videos, people like diving, like commercial divers who have to go like down into, pipes that lead to pumps and stuff to make sure they're clear and so forth. And it's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
It is absolutely it's honestly, I would not do it. It's a job that I could, there are certain jobs I go, it looks scary at first, but I could probably do it. No, I would just be constant. This guy goes, oh yeah, today we're doing a commercial dive. Look at this pumping system. We'll be going through a pipe that's 3 foot wide. We'll be travelling down at like 100 feet to the turbine, make sure it's all clear.
How about fuck off?
Yeah. Yeah. And he goes, and when they show you the video of them going down into it, and visibility must have been about a foot, even with their lights.
You have got to have nads the size of
I'm surprised their balls would fit
through.
down the pipe.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm surprised. I thought, how you show it? Is that a grinding noise? Your balls dragging on the outside of that pipe as you're going down.
Clearly, mate. Damn.
I mean, he doesn't need ballast to get down into water. But yeah, he just goes down. And you just watch this guy go down, and all of a sudden you just see this corner of this fin blade, which is obviously what the sort of pump turbine's blade. And he sort of feels it all over, and they turn back and go back.
Yeah, no, thank you.
No, that is just terrifying.
So would you say Subnautica is a decent game?
Yes.
Reasonable game? Pretty fun?
Yes.
How much is it these days?
Oh, now you're asking the question. But unfortunately, what happens when super normal water size end up going through a steam pumping station, not something you'd like to see. Yeah, oh. Right, Annie has seen the unfortunate see what happens when people ignore the warning signs and end up going through a steam pumping station.
I just want to throw out there, if think of the poor bastard that has to clean that shit up.
I don't think you'd have to ride the amount of force going through there. I think you'll find that'll pretty soon dissipate by itself.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I mean, like, let's say something clogs up.
I honestly don't think that's a problem. The amount of power these turbines and stuff
You
have,
just disintegrates it.
honestly do not think that'd be a problem. I mean, if they can handle like rocks and stuff going through them, no problem. I honestly do not think, I don't think that. If you see how big these turbines are on these dams, trust me, even no matter what you're carrying with you, you're not going to cause it an issue.
Good times. Where did they go? Yeah, don't worry about it. Shit going through is going to end up a little bit red for a split second. What was that weird spatter over the camera in that pipe? Yeah, don't worry about it.
Well, you could say, right, Subnautica at the moment is 1949, and that is definitely worth it.
Cool.
Definitely 100% worth it for that price. No question asked. But
have you put in a whole hell of a lot of time into it then? Or?
About 8 hours in.
That's all right.
I've got him so far, and I've got my base. I'm at the stage of my base because I haven't unlocked the rooms yet. I've got so much titanium. I don't want to waste it building corridors.
No.
So instead, I wasted it building corridors with lockers in them.
Right.
So I was running out of space, but I'm hoping to get. So you get an aquarium at some point.
An aquarium. Just look out the front door.
It's an interesting thing about Subnautica. Has no map.
Oh.
You have to They want you because they want you to navigate by learning. The area, so there's no map. You can build beacons, plot beacons down. So I have got a couple of beacons I carry around. If I find some interesting wreckage, I'll dump a beacon there so I can find it again easily. But yeah, there is no map. You can find them. There's maps online you can look up. There's no map in game.
Actually, I'd rather not do that.
So
spoils part of the fun, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was curious. So I looked at the map online. I realised one of the facilities I've been to was like the corner of the map. You start in the middle, and I was like in the far corner. I realised, it didn't take me that long to get there. It took me like 2 minutes of swimming to get there. Thought, well, now I know the whole map is at most like I can get anywhere within 2 minutes, basically. Yeah. So, yeah, it was quite unfortunate. So, but so thanks to Subnautica, I've been getting terrified of underwater things.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. Anything anywhere that I'm not designed to be without specialist equipment is a no-go for me.
I have ones I have most respect for are the hazardous environment divers. And these are the divers. So let's say you've got a tank full of some toxic chemical. Also, it's got valves and stuff in it. If one of those breaks, you've got to repair it somehow. So there are people who actually specialise with special gear, going into these tanks full of toxic chemicals and repairing stuff in them.
No, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, I saw there's this picture of one of the guys, and they have to go, they have 3 layers of dry suits, so one gets punched, it won't.
Yeah. Right.
It's, and they've got to be decontaminated going in and out. It's terrifying. And it's I thought, I've got great respect for you guys. Like the guys who work on the overhead power lines when they go up there, it's like, fucking hell, that's terrifying.
The amount of crap that people have to deal with, the amount of bizarrely terrifying, somewhat shitty yet exciting jobs we have just to keep society going.
Yeah, I watched BBC went for a phase in lots of documentaries of just like normal following lives of just normal everyday, what you consider like sort of quite a minor workforce. Someone you don't think much, like people who work for the water board. And you think their job is just all going round, sort of repairing the odd pipe here and there, dealing with leaks or something. Fucking no. Oh my word, some stuff they deal with. Like this guy went into this, he climbed down into this, what's basically a holding area for the sewage system. Yeah. And it's basically this massive room. I mean, it's fucking enormous, this room. I couldn't, it had no lights in it when he went down into it, but you could sort of see the far walls. I couldn't describe how big it was. It's like several tennis courts in size. It's huge. And basically, there's a holding tank for when there's lots of sewage going through. It just fills his room up, and then it gets flushed the rest of the way through. And he was in there to sort of clean some of the equipment up. And it's just a room, and every surface is just covered in shit, human shit.
Good job.
And he's out there and pressure washing and so forth. And it's like, that's not a job you expect people to have. You wouldn't think have to do, but it has to be done. Someone's got to do it to keep our country running. Yep. It's just one of those nice little jobs that no one thinks about.
Thankless job, but someone has to do it.
Yeah, I mean, not many people have a job. Oh yeah, and they've got to go in with someone who breathe out as well because the gases released can be quite dangerous. Yeah. Oh, fucking hell, yeah. No.
Brutal. No. Bloody humans.
Bloody infrastructure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's terrifying. But it's like, I still find it terrifying. Another thing I always find terrifying is oil rigs.
No, I won't. No.
But what always amazes me is the legs. I always thought the legs were solid.
No, they're hollow.
And you go right down to the bottom of them. Yeah. And you're literally there's just you're several hundred meters below the surface. It's just like a few feet of concrete between you and terrifying pressures of water. That's just amazes me. I know the science behind it, but it just still amazes me.
Not my groove. Not my groove.
So you wouldn't get a job now. No. Part of me would like to. I would probably like to go to one of these places and actually, but I don't know if I would be able to go downstairs.
I'm not even a huge fan of being on on big boats, to be honest with you. I don't like flying.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to be up there. I don't like big boats. I am so tiny and insignificant in comparison to the ocean. No.
Yeah. I mean, I get the heebie-jeebies. We've got this pump room that's basically for our sprinkler system. So if power fails, well, it's a generator. If power fails the store, this room kicks in and basically pumps all the water through the sprinkler system. So if there's no power, we can still have a sprinkler system.
Yeah, sure.
And at one point, the lights went in it, and you have to go start up and switch it off. You go, it's fine. It's just a massive diesel generator. But no, every time you open the door and it's pitch black in there, all you can just hear is just roaring machinery running away, doing stuff, and it's just an engine.
Yeah.
It was an engine. It's still fucking terrifying me. I mean, when I see pictures of like these massive machine rooms and like they have in skyscrapers, which is just full of like air conditioning, handling units and pumping units, all these sort of stuff. Because you forget actually in a skyscraper, I think it's like every 15 floors, they have to have pump systems and stuff to repressurize the water to get to the top, and air conditioning units and so forth. And
engineering masterpieces.
They are. And you look at these rooms, it's full of all this pumping. It's fucking terrifying in a weird way. I've just be creeped out walking through something like that. Just all these machineries that just could like kill you instantly.
Good times, huh?
Yeah, and
best not to think about it, mate.
no, I'm going to heebie-jeebies now. Think about it. That's just something that it's
So many things on this planet that we do, just to keep things going, and no one realizes you're doing it.
No,
we do this podcast as an example.
Yeah, the world would end. That's when we started. There were times, it was just after the Mayan prophecy, and we realised actually to stop. We read in a book somewhere that the only way to stop the world ending was to do a podcast. So we are bravely, and once one of us dies, you've had it.
Yeah.
So we're bravely keeping the world afloat.
You can thank us later.
Yeah. Indeed. Anyway, that's Subnautica.
You're welcome.
Thank you for joining me on this my TED talk. So Skazz, you told me earlier you wanted a rant.
I finished Astral Chain, brilliant game. I finished Daemon X Machina,
which you were really looking forward to coming out.
I don't know if it quite matches up to Astral Chain, if I had to be honest. And Astral Chain was the game that I had no hope for. But I beat the story. It's all right. It's Armored Core, modern Armored Core, but it's got a few things I don't like about it. The story is full of holes, but it's okay. And for some reason, your giant, heavy armored suits can fly forever. And it fucking annoys me.
Yeah.
Because it completely destroys majority of the levels. Like, you could have, like, a really interesting level, like in a forest or in a big old factory complex or whatever, or a military base. But you spend majority of your time hundreds of feet in the air.
Flying is sort of giving players the ability to fly in most games is a really bad idea.
Yes.
Whether it's
most
RPG
of the boss
games.
Fights, most of the boss fights, let's put it this way, going through, there were a couple of people saying to me, "Oh mate, this boss fight's really hard." My suit wasn't particularly well equipped, and I could literally just fly 50 to 100 feet in the air, just stand there and unload on the fucking thing.
Amount of times I've read in DM guides, just don't allow flying. It just breaks everything.
Yep.
And it's true. It's a bit like Mitchell and Webb's Angel Summoner and Biker Boy. He's being ex-bandit. And it's like, well, I'm going to do this. Oh, we could just summon angels and let them deal with it. It's like that. It's just a power. It's just so overpowered. It's just not worth having. You've got to have it. If you're going to fly, you've got to really severely restrict it.
See, I had hoped when I played Daemon X Machina that they'd have done like what Armored Core did. So if your suit was too heavy, you'd get a little bit of airtime. Like literally, you could kind of jump and say kind of cruise over a rock or whatever, and then you'd fall back down again. No, you're just up in the air forever.
Yeah, that was
forever. That
was sort of Mech Warriors methodology as well. If you were in a big heavy mech, when you took off, it felt like you were it felt like like you were defying the laws of physics.
Yeah.
It felt like you really shouldn't be doing this. This is really not a good idea. And you could feel it. You could almost feel the jets struggling to get you up in the air.
Yeah.
And then when you landed, you made such a clang as you landed. It felt very physical.
Yeah.
But it sounds like by making it flying to it sounds like you make it feel like you're just flying around something that's made of polystyrene.
Yeah. I mean,
there's no physicalness to it.
The suits had reasonable weight to them when you were on the ground, but as soon as you were in the air, just everything was broken. But no, it was neat. Very little in that game was a challenge, in my opinion. But otherwise it was a pretty fun game. Story-wise, it was goofy anime giant robot fun. World is doomed. That's apparently what's going on. The world is doomed.
Or is this?
Yeah, world is doomed and stuff. I don't want to say anything seriously. Some of the stuff that goes on in that game, you're like, that's pretty. Oh, okay, righto, do that. But mechanically, it's fine, with the exception of flying. Story-wise, a bit thin. The bit that aggroed me was the thing in the game that explains what's going on in the story is an external video. Even though the story doesn't really pick up for a good few hours in the game, I was like, why did you not put this kind of video in the game? It's silly. Why am I having to go elsewhere to find it?
Yeah.
Because at some point that video is going to disappear, and that part of the lore is going to disappear.
Yeah.
But it was all right. I mean, I played it long
Weird
enough for it
decision.
to end up in my top 6 most played Nintendo Switch games.
Wow.
There's still loads of stuff for me to do if I want 100% it, but the community in the game is a bit mental. In the community's opinion, even after beating the story, I hadn't finished because I hadn't gone online, played the multiplayer, and grinded my character stats to 100%.
Life's too short.
Yeah, that was my groove. I was like, I've done all of the offline missions. I've done all of the main campaign. I've now done all of the online co-op missions. I'm done. I've done every single boss at least once. I'm done. Because they were comparing it. A lot of the guys were comparing it to Monster Hunter, and it's like, well, Monster Hunter's just a grind. Monster Hunter's just a grind. It's like, yeah, but once you beat Monster Hunter's story, there's nothing else that you really have to do unless you want to get the cool armor sets. And at least in Monster Hunter, a decent fight's going to last you more than, say, 2.5 minutes, which is what the average match was in Daemon X Machina. Like, most of the matches you could finish in, like, 2 to 3 minutes.
That's where a lot of matches tend to become the highest you'll see from a play game.
Well, because there were quite a few missions, and because obviously there's a lot of dialogue that breaks up the missions. So the mission itself is pretty short. The online missions are literally go in there, fight that thing, now you're done. Whereas the story missions are like, okay, here's a bit of dialogue between characters. Plot is developed. In the mission you go, oh, something's happening. More dialogue happens. You can go and do something. And then, they pad it. There's quite a bit of padding in it. And there are a lot of mechanics that aren't explored either. Like, you can actually get out your giant robot.
Yeah.
You can get out your giant robot, but there's only 2 missions, from what I remember, in the entire game where you actually get out your robot. Where you have to get out your robot.
Bizarre.
2.
Why put it in there? What was the point?
Well, it's kind of neat as a multiplayer mechanic because they allow you to get out of your suit and repair your suit. If it's not completely blown up, you can actually get out and repair it. And you can also repair someone else's suit. So let's say the other person gets completely wrecked or whatever, you can go over and restore part of their suit and then pilot it. But I really hope, because this isn't supposed to be me talking about Daemon X Machina, I really hope they expand this game with more like DLC or extra missions, more stuff to expand on the plot, give us more background to a lot of the characters and stuff. Because most of them, you're like, I don't know who the fuck these guys are, and I don't really care. Or they'll kind of mention something as part of the plot and then never go anywhere with it.
Yeah.
There's entire characters that literally turn up once or twice, and then you never hear anything else of them. I don't know if maybe there's an extra video or animated short that I'm supposed to watch to explain their existence, but it is fun. Very fun. But yeah, the community is a bit flaky at times. Nice people, just crazy. And flying and getting out of your suit. Anyway, rant. After I finished Astral Chain and Daemon X Machina, putting in hours and hours and hours of time, finished them on stream, went back and did some of the extra missions in both games, I was struggling to find something to play that I really wanted to play. And recently, Dragonquest 1, 2, and 3, the old NES games, have been released on Nintendo Switch. I think they might also be on like PS4 and stuff as well. I've mentioned Dragonquest before as one of the kind of the granddaddy of JRPGs, the big one that really took hold in Japan, made by Enix, had character designs by Toriyama, who does the Dragon Ball series. So pretty much all of his characters look the fucking same. It was very pretty characters, very pretty monster designs for the time. And they've made many different versions. Started out on the NES, remade it on the Super Nintendo, made it again on the Game Boy. It had like a Wii version. They still make new versions to this day. Dragon Quest XI is the newest one, which came out quite recently on Switch as well. But the bit you need to pull from this is that Dragon Quest is an important series as far as JRPGs go. Okay?
Well, the Granddaddy series.
Yeah. You've re-released on a new platform the original 3 titles.
Don't fuck it up.
So what did they do?
Fuck it up.
Yeah. So I bought them. I bought the first 2 because they go up in price as you go through. I was like, so number 1 is like £3, number 2 is like a £5, and 3 is £10. No, thank you. But
for how? That's only £20 for quite ancient games.
Yes. Now, I launched it and I was like, oh, hey, they've redone the Dragon Quest like logo splash screen. I was like, that's quite nice. They've sharpened it up, kind of thing. It's not like 8-bitty or 16-bitty or whatever. It's actually pretty cool. And I launched it and I was like, whoa. Okay, what the hell's going on with these graphics? It's looking like stretched 16-bit, but the character sprites look like some child has gone over the original sprites in crayon or something.
So is it a remaster rather than a re-release?
Well, I was like, this looks very familiar. And I pulled out my phone, and I was like, oh no. It's Dragon Quest Mobile.
What?
They've taken the Android and iOS games and put them on console.
But what?
Mm-hmm.
They understand that the different scales, different different ways of interacting with them.
They've taken away the touch interface, but they've just put in controller support. Have you seen like when they?
One thing I've got to say, you are a bunch of fucking cheapskates.
Yeah. Oh my god, it was disgusting. I was like, this is awful. A series that you should show some serious respect to. That you've just literally released the definitive Dragon Quest XI, and it looks gorgeous, and the music's brilliant in it and all that. And then you go and re-release Dragon Quest 1, I would imagine, to build up interest with people who have never played Dragon Quest before. Like, hey, Dragon Quest XI, I'll go see what this is all about. You give them access to Dragon Quest 1, and it is easily the worst Dragon Quest 1 I've ever played. Ever!
You absolute bunch of cheapskates.
So, have you ever seen the Street Fighter 2 remake, where they got the character sprites, the original like arcade sprites, and then they drew over them frame by frame to give them like an HD skin?
I haven't, but I've saw idea.
They really like prettied it up. Well, it was almost like they were going for this in Dragon Quest, but just really badly. Like, oh, here you go, Ping. Here's some crayons, and here's the character sprites. Just draw over them and colour them in.
Yeah. Who's that kid who got from who's dropped out from art college, who's doing work experience for us? Yeah, bring him over. Give him the
Basically, yeah. I mean, in some cases, character sprites, like so let's say you've got your regular ass like Super Nintendo style character sprite with like the black eyes, like the black line of pixels. All of a sudden, one of the characters, the pixels for her eyes go over her hairline.
Fucking hell.
I was like, what the hell is going on? It's stuttery. The monster artwork is for the most part crap. It honestly does just look like, here's the sprite, and I've just got a biro and just drawn over it and coloured it in quickly, like with the fill bucket in MS Paint or whatever. It looks really, really, really bad. The music's still great. The gameplay is okay. The menus. So if you've ever seen any of these like mobile remakes or remakes of old like PlayStation games in recent history, like if you look at the Final Fantasy ones, they redid all of the menus because apparently Final Fantasy's menus weren't good enough. They gave them these really stupid, thick, chunky, like rectangular, like touchscreen looking.
Touchscreen friendly.
Yeah.
Friendly for people who've got fat thumbs.
Yeah, they redid all of it.
Which on a mobile is fine.
But it looks horrible.
Yeah, but it's more practical. On mobiles, it's a practicality issue.
Sure.
It looks all, but it's practicality. But on a console game, that's not an issue.
Yeah. And I couldn't believe it. If you're going to remake a series and you've got a mobile port, please don't put that on a console unless you're going to do some shiny to it.
Yeah.
No, give us the option to, like, change the sprites. Like, you know, some games have, we made another version of this back in the day, like the Halo collection lets you play classic or remastered. And you press a button and it goes...
The remasters of Monkey Island do the same thing.
Yeah.
You can go between both the modern version and the previous version at a touch of a button.
Yeah. They should have... I mean, I think Dragon Quest 11 does that. Or is it Dragon Quest Builders? Like, you have modern version and an old school style version. They should have done that with the Dragon Quest games. Because they fucking look shite the way they are. Admittedly, they're cheap, but... Oh, God. Just because you've already got an Android binary...
That's just shocking.
Doesn't mean you had to just... And because obviously, you know, some of these consoles... You just repackage just for whatever. You hit the button and you...
Well, yeah, you could pretty much... A lot of game development studio systems these days, where that you just say what platform are you running this on? That one, okay. We can do the hard background grunty work of compiling it for you. You just need to make sure it's usable.
Yeah, and that is literally that looks like what they've done. They did it with the Final Fantasy games. Well, the Final Fantasy games weren't too bad, but Dragon Quest.
Yeah, I mean,
they've had so many good versions of those games, and then they did this. If they said to me, Skazz, we're going to give you the Super Nintendo version of Dragon Quest 1 and 2, or Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3, $5 each. No tarting it up or anything. Just we'll stretch it to 16 by 9.
Yeah.
But like we'll keep it all scaled so it doesn't look super stretched.
We won't stretch it. We'll perhaps.
Yeah, we'll just like render in the extra stuff. I'd have been fine with that. Yeah. But the mobile version, oh. They did the same thing with Final Fantasy XIV as well, actually. Like, Final Fantasy XIV had a big PC and PlayStation release, right? And Xbox release. And then they made kind of like a nubby kind of... I don't know if a demake is the right word for it. They made like a demakey mobile game. So, you can play the rough story of Final Fantasy 15 on a phone, because obviously it can't handle all the graphics and stuff. So it went to like a Super Nintendo... No, not Super Nintendo. Like a PlayStation-y GameCube-y style game, like low poly and all that kind of stuff. And then they re-released that on consoles. So what are you doing? Just, if you're gonna do it right. These are series that really needed the love.
Yeah. You
could have put in a little bit more time, a little bit more work, and that'd have been amazing. And you'd have brought in loads of new people to the series. Don't just try and appeal to people who have already played. Show people how cool, show new people how cool these games could be. No gallery, no bios. There's no manual. Not that I've seen.
So you've got to figure it all out yourself.
Yeah. It's bloody stupid. The gameplay's still pretty solid, but it's Dragon Quest. There's not really a whole hell of a lot you can do with it.
It'd be hard to fuck up the gameplay.
Yeah.
Unless it says something, right, now tilt your screen to make the character move.
I've seen games try that, and it's like no. But yeah, I just wanted to have a little bit of a rant about that. I'm still playing it, but the more I play it, the angrier I get about it, because every time I see the sprites, I think... So I have a copy of the original remakes on Super Nintendo, and I'm like, those looked amazing. They look really good, and now you've done this.
So how hard can it be to... That's ridiculous. How hard can it be to...
It looks absolutely disgusting, actually. What I might do, for the folks who are live, don't worry, you're not going to be able to see
you may
this.
now ignore the next few moments.
Audio listeners will have this edited out.
If you remember.
No, I will. Because I'm angry.
He only remembers things when he's angry.
I do, actually. That's a bizarre thing.
So we need to maintain your level of angriness all the time.
Right, now, this is a really low-res screenshot, but that's the character sprite.
Has he had a stroke? Or been punched?
It looks
So this
like...
is the mobile game version, or is this the new one you've been playing?
It looks... well, I mean, that's really blurry, but I mean, just imagine that sharper.
Well, is he meant to be a person?
Yes.
Why does he look like a duck?
No, you tell me, mate. Versus the Super Nintendo version. So let me see if I can find a better...
What we can do is we can always find these later. We can always link to these in the show notes.
Yeah, we'll link to some images to show you how it shouldn't look. I mean, yeah, that's the mobile version as well. Oh god, I'm zooming in like mad. The worst part about it is the monster designs.
I mean, she looks like surprised constantly.
Oh, and it's all in ye olde English too.
What proper ye olde English, or what people think ye olde English is
What
like.
people think ye olde English is like, and it's fucking. I just stopped reading it. I just had enough of it. I was like, please stop.
Yeah.
It's not pleasant in games. It's not fun. It's not clever.
It's not big and it's not clever.
You know, you just... Sometimes as well, because they use it as a way to... now we can just kind of fiddle around with the script to make it fit. It's like, no, stupid. Yeah, please, if you've got an old series and you're going to re-release it, give it a bit of love, eh?
Or either literally just re-release it just so it works.
Re-release it as it was?
Yeah, but just so it works.
Yeah.
So you know it's got the right inputs and so forth. Or, if you're going to remaster it, as I said, spend a bit of time on it. I mean, let's be realistic. There isn't going to be a lot you're going to have to do remastering-wise, because they're small anyway.
Yep.
So aren't that many graphics to redo. There aren't going to be that many backdrops to redo. It's something that a team could do relatively quickly. I mean, hell, if you just run it through a sharpening filter on Photoshop, probably be a lot better than what they've managed there.
It's really not.
We'll try and link to some images in the show notes. See, ideal. Try and see if we can find the same character model.
Yeah.
And we'll see if we can link to a few, so you audio guys can see the horror.
In my opinion, they just don't look very good. That it would have been a lot better if you'd have just left it as, well, there's your Super Nintendo sprite. It doesn't look as stupid and cartoony and
it's got
out
less
of place.
No, it's got less pixels, but it looks normal.
Yeah, it doesn't look as out of place on the world map.
No, it sort of it feels like it's been designed by the same people.
Yeah.
Whereas the other one feels like somebody was doing the sprites for the character model, someone was doing the map.
Yep. It just doesn't match up, and it's sad. Really is sad to see how lazily they've done it.
Yeah. There we go.
And you know what's really horrible?
What?
It's a lot of people say, "Oh, it's Square," because it's Square Enix that published the new Dragonquest. It's like, but you can't say it's Square Enix fucking with Enix titles, because Enix were the ones that originally released Dragon Quest.
So presumably there were two companies called Enix who made together. That's why they become Squared Enix.
Well, the thing is, from what I remember, do you remember that old Final Fantasy film that came
If the
out
first
years
company
and years ago?
joins, they'll become Cubed Enix.
Good job. Good job. You're really pleased there, aren't you?
I'm here every week.
The problem is, I think Enix actually bought Square.
Ah.
Because I think they did a film years and years and years ago, and it was kind of shite. From what I understand, it practically bankrupted Square.
Wasn't the Final Fantasy film, was it?
Yeah, Final Spirits.
Spirits Within?
Yeah.
That wasn't that bad.
Yeah, but look, they spent a lot of money, and it didn't have the pull that they were expecting it to. And
it wasn't like the first sort of proper. They were like trying to go for like the first sort of like adult CGI film, and
it looked gorgeous for the time.
It looked amazing, but people weren't quite ready for that.
It wasn't Final Fantasy to them.
No. Well, as I said, times well, Final Fantasy, they're all different anyway.
Yeah, but it didn't really have anything to tie into the world.
Had none of the actual. There's no nothing. There's no. I don't think there's even chocobos in it.
Mm.
No, there you go. It should be called the Chocobo Within.
They missed it.
Wasn't
if
bad.
they'd have put a chocobo in it,
if it wasn't called Final Fantasy, it wasn't actually that bad a film.
Then that's it.
If it's just called The Spirits Within,
That'd have been all right.
Yeah, but it's because they put Final Fantasy on it. It makes you wonder if that was actually
originally what it was going to be. Was that a marketing decision?
Yeah. It makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Stupid.
Stupid.
But yeah, because I haven't played anything other than that. I got so angry.
I can hear it.
So angry.
So you won't be doing streaming of that then?
I think I'm going to finish it because I've tried to stream Dragon Quest in loads of different versions, like the Super Nintendo version. I've played the NES version. I was like, look, I'm going to finish one of the goddamn versions on stream, so it might as well be this one. I will suffer through it to the end. I just wish they'd have put in like a choose the sprite pack option on it,
or even some effort.
Yeah, some effort would have been nice.
Yeah.
Oh dear. But yeah,
you can see it now. Saying, "Oh, shall I release it? What should we do? We need some money quick. Show me the port for Dragon Quest onto the new consoles. Yeah, but we've got to recode it. No. We've done a mobile version a few years ago. John did that. Oh yeah, he did, didn't he?
That is what it feels like.
What should we do? So I'm just going to change, the drop down box from Android to Nintendo.
Yeah. Well,
Android,
technically, the Switch is running on Android. I think.
I'm going to change it from Android to Switch. And where's that cheap third party freeware plugin that does controller support? Oh yeah, it's such as I'll just add that onto it. All right, there we go, job done. Now let's pretend it's going to take us 3 months at least. Then we can have the rest of that. We can just go party for the next 3 months.
Basically the groove, mate. We just got a big bag of money from Enix.
It was a 3-month project. One afternoon to recompile it, and the rest was just spent playing good games.
Playing Dragon Quest 11.
Yeah. That's an old Dilbert joke, isn't it? When he's asked about this, an old Dilbert joke from way back. When the boss says, how long is it going to take? He goes, it's going to be 6 weeks. And he just thinks to himself, one day you do the project, five and the rest of the time I'll be playing Doom.
Yeah.
The original Doom.
Yeah. Oh, they even fucked up the re-releases of those as well, didn't they? Recently.
Yes. Which re-release of which version?
So Bethesda recently released Doom on all modern systems.
Bethesda releasing one of the old games on another platform? No.
With DRM.
No. Bethesda wouldn't do that. Bethesda wouldn't release a game they released, back in 2011 on every platform under the sun. Skyrim. I'm sorry. They wouldn't do such a thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it was awful.
And they're so concerned about piracy of Doom, they put DRM in it.
Yeah.
Does Bethesda know torrents are a thing? Do they know that Doom, the original Doom, has been out there long enough that it's torrented by everybody under the sun? I mean, I think there's a browser version of it.
Mm-hmm.
Link in the show notes if I find it. And you say up yours, Bethesda.
I don't like Bethesda as a company. I really don't.
No,
really don't.
They've gone past the Bethesda games, aren't they? Buggy, but they've tried stage. They're ambitious but buggy.
Generally, games they publish are all right, but what the hell were they thinking with this last one? Ugh.
Yeah. So generally, so when they were pushing effort into their games were sort of pushing what systems could do, and they're full of bugs. People didn't mind.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Because, you know, it was them trying. But then you realise that actually they're riding that a little bit to get to as an excuse to not do the games very well.
Well, I mean, look, yeah, they are now. I mean, look at Skyrim. The Nintendo Switch release of Skyrim has some of the same game-breaking bugs that the vanilla PC launch had.
Yeah, which is not acceptable.
No, of course
It's not
not.
acceptable. And best part of well, by that point, about 7 years development. Was it last year it came out?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so 7 years of development. When there are fan patches who fix that,
Yeah.
you know, just install one of those and just hope no one looks.
Yeah.
They will, but just hope no one does. They use that as a bit of their excuse to get away with making buggy games. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't work anymore. Firstly, you've got to, you know.
I wish game companies would actually realise this now. You can't half-ass development anymore. You can't. You will get shat on the second the game comes out.
But game companies what they rely on is gamers, air quotes, gamers, the people who are the ones who shout about, you know, bugs in games or stuff and things like that. Actually, of the gaming community, represent not a massive chunk.
No.
Because a large chunk of the community are, shall we say, I would say, you know, kids.
Yeah.
Who don't really notice these things, and people buying for them don't really know. I mean, when Granny goes in and knows her grandson wants Skyrim on the Switch, she's not going to go, well, it's full of bugs, isn't it? I mean, she might do. She might be a hardcore gamer, Granny.
Yep.
Don't Google that. She might be, but you don't know. She might do. But odds are they're not. So they're the people who basically they get around, they escape. So yeah, people shout and rant and rave about all this. And yeah, the people who in the know that's not only to avoid it.
Well, the trouble is, though, people still buy it, though, don't they? Because they're like fans of the series.
I think if the outcry's enough, there have been, I don't want to say successes, but there have been impacts. Battlefront 2.
Yeah, but that didn't last, did it?
No, it didn't last, but
that's the problem, because as soon as they took that stuff out, briefly, and they said, oh yeah, it's going to be out until it's going to be gone until December or whenever. Everyone was like, oh great, we won!
No,
and
you
they went
didn't.
in and bought the game.
You won the battle, but you didn't win the war.
And that was the problem.
But the big thing that actually won it for them was Disney. Because Disney don't like bad publicity.
Nope.
And they got involved. That was really the thing that actually won it for them, was Disney didn't want this bad publicity because they care about their publicity. I actually didn't realise actually how small a company Disney was. People think this is big one of company. It's tiny, actually. When you actually look at their turnover, and actual fact, Disney could be bought out by Amazon by about 10 times. They're honestly
Dread Pirate Beatles is like, yep,
but
we're going to have them
honestly, they're tiny. They're really a small company when you actually think about it. They're a lot. They're a lot of companies a lot bigger than them and scarier than them. But people don't think about it.
Why do they still exist?
Marvel, Star
Shit,
Wars.
Shit. Then.
Well, yeah, Star Wars has been shit for a long time.
Good job.
Good job. Yeah. So, but yeah, don't buy Dragon Ball.
Dragonquest.
Dragonquest. Don't buy Dragonquest 1, 2, or 3.
No, on the Switch.
On the Switch. I'm glad we've got it out there. Our one viewer will know this. Probably knows it anyway. And our 95 subscribers on the for the podcast.
94 of those are probably us.
Well, I'd be interested. I was doing it therefore. I wonder how many of them are me. But I thought about it actually because feed burner, which is something I need to get away from because I'm terrified Google can discontinue any day now. Well, I'm amazed. I think Google's forgotten it exists.
Probably.
I think it's
the product that got away.
I think in Google headquarters, there's a computer somewhere on someone's desk that's runs FeedBurner, and they've not realised it's there. It's probably they probably also runs a coffee machine or something, and it's sat there chugging itself away, and no one realises that's running a FeedBurner.
It's the old Commodore VIC-20
Yeah,
in the basement.
but one day when they move offices, Victor's going to switch that off, and that's it. FeedBurner's gone. People are going to go, "Whoa, what happened to that?" I honestly think Google forgot FeedBurner exists.
Google, yeah, like someone will go, what the hell? Like someone will message him, we'll call them up. Hey, what the fuck happened to FeedBurner? And Google will be like, what?
What?
What the hell's that?
Like, is that still going? I thought we switched it off to 10 years ago.
And they're like,
Oh. More you know. That's
how I feel they are with my YouTube account at the moment.
Yeah. But anyway, FeedBurner. Apparently we need to move away from FeedBurner. I'm off. I've got 2 weeks of holiday off, so I want to start seriously researching alternatives to FeedBurner.
Would we be willing to pay for the feed? Or
I would, but I don't want to pay a huge amount for it. I have looked at podcast hosting sites, but they are extortion money.
No, I agree.
So, I mean, if there was I'd be prepared to pay a server for the feed. I would be tempted to set up literally a server, just a web server just for a redirect, because it wouldn't need any bandwidth realistically. No. It's only redirecting a URL. So I am going to look at some options to get away from FeedBurner, because the ultra FeedBurner limits you to the last 50 episodes.
Oh, right.
So all our early stuff is now only on an archive on the website. You can't actually get it via iTunes.
Oh, right.
So of course iTunes is going soon.
Oh, yeah, because they're doing the Apple Music web thing, aren't they?
I am also looking at alternative not hosting, but places to get up there. So I'm going to look at submitting ourselves to
a couple of my mates have put their podcast on Spotify, and they were so happy they got on Spotify, and I was like, that's disgusting.
If I told you I'd submitted us to Spotify,
oh, that'd be our breakthrough moment.
Yeah, I submitted it. I haven't had a reply yet.
Oh, Jesus Christ. They'd take one crack at this and be like, oh, God, again.
I like some of them when you go on there and something like, they actually, okay, here's a submit. We need to know what this, all this information about yourself. And okay, yeah, we'll listen to you and get back to you for like several or a few days. And others like, just give us the URL. Right, you're listed now.
There you go, job done.
But yeah, I'm going to get us onto more other sites to increase our sort of our infectious spread.
We're spreading the disease.
And I'm going to try and sort out a proper alternative to FeedBurner in the next couple of weeks.
Sure.
So we can actually have all the podcasts back on iTunes again, listed.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Do people still actually use iTunes for, like, dedicated for podcasts? Or?
Well, it's iTunes PC still exists. That's not been discontinued. That still exists.
Do people? Well, what I mean is like, what's
on your phone? It's on. You have it on the iPhone. It's a podcast app.
Okay.
But you can still search from via the iTunes store, but you can also search via the podcast app.
Sure.
So as far as we're from the point of view of the podcast it's just that it's all podcasts are going to move to the podcast store,
right,
as it were. So nothing's actually happening to podcasts. It's not going to be.
So I guess most people are checking out podcasts on mobile. So I was just curious, like, are people?
Apparently, Radio Garden, Annie Boy has pointed us out. I'm assuming is that a podcast host or listing engine but I'll have a look at it. I'll have a look at it and see what that's about.
Yeah. Keep us on the internet. And I was just curious as to what people actually use to listen to podcasts now, because once upon a time, the place people went for podcasts was iTunes, whereas I haven't had a copy of iTunes installed since like the first year of the podcast.
Well, on the phone, there's actually a on the iOS. They got moved to a podcast app several years ago now, actually. Mm-hmm. So, although its source is still linked together, but that's what we're changing.
Yeah.
When I had my tablet, I had an app for the podcast, and it was shit. I never found a good one. At the time, this is a few years ago. So I don't know what's out there now. At the time, I couldn't find any podcast app for Android that was as good as
Pocket Cast.
I tried that, it didn't work. This is going back quite a few years, so it's probably a lot better now.
I've never really had an issue with Pocket Cast.
And
Pocket Cast started on.
It worked.
iOS.
It worked. The trouble I had with it though was it did some weird formatting. So, for example, it wouldn't show the show notes properly. It would actually start showing full URLs of certain things. It did some weird formatting things. Nothing horrendous. Nothing.
That's subscription based now, by the way.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. No, so it was nothing horrendous. It's a hub for stream. You can look at the globe and just it's a hub for stream radio stations. Apparently, Radio Garden. I'll have a look.
It's yeah, because I was gonna say I've tried a few on Android. I just go back to Pocket Casts.
Oh
most
no,
of the
actually,
time.
it's along not having an Android device at the moment.
Yeah.
Because my tablet died.
Well, I mean, I tend to listen to most of my podcasts because I don't like smartphones. So I do most of my stuff day to day on my laptop. So I just, pull stuff down in like Rhythmbox or whatever that I've got on Linux.
Yeah.
So, or just go to the site. I don't listen to that many podcasts either these days, to be fair. Like I said, I'm just curious as to what people...
So I'm the opposite. See, I listen to more and more podcasts now than I used to, because I like pass the time. I've got quite a selection, a lot of quite a range as well. I've got ours obviously on there. I've got about 2 or 3 sciencey ones.
Yeah.
I've got one that's a D&D podcast where it's like people playing game D&D. Follow that's been going for donkey's years now, about 6-7 years that's been going. I've got Warhammer, the official Warhammer one, where they actually interview somebody who works for Games Workshop and actually they have a proper sit down chat with them. It's not a scripted interview; it's a proper sit down chat. That's really neat. I listen to those. I listen more podcasts than I listen to podcasts more than music.
Yeah.
Depends what I'm doing. If I'm just sort of milling around doing something I want to concentrate on, I put music on, because podcasts you can't really concentrate. But if it's something quite light and I don't need to concentrate on too hard, say driving.
You can get lost in the beat of music, whereas a podcast you really have to be wired into it.
Yeah. So, I want to get an audio book. I was going to get an audio book of Eisenhorn, the one they're supposedly going to turn into the Amazon TV series, supposedly.
Right.
But then I looked and they wanted 30 quid for it.
Have you not got an Audible subscription or whatever?
No.
Because if you've got Amazon, they tend to give you like one book free.
Yeah, no, I have. I'm trying to remember if it was on. I don't. I'll have to have a
Apple do
look.
audiobooks.
Yeah, they're 30 quid as well on there.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I think if it was a tenner, I'd have gone, yeah, all right, but 30 quid for an audiobook seems quite steep to me.
Yeah, I'd never pay that much. Audible, actually, their subscription isn't too bad, but then I haven't subscribed to Audible in a fair few years.
Yeah.
1 second. Books. Type in the title of the book.
Oh, you want me to try and spell Eisenhorn?
Just start it, for fuck's sake. We'll just type in Warhammer and see if it was...
Oh.
the top.
I put E and it came right at the top.
Oh, there you go. Good job. So we'll just see how much it costs. Wow, $23, $22. Ooh, that's a...
It's better than 30 quid, but still, I think it's too much for an
I
audiobook.
was going to say, how long is it?
About 9 hours, I think.
That's not great. Yeah, you'd get that for like nothing if you paid like a £7 subscription to Audible.
Yeah. Trouble if I'd use Audible enough.
No, but you can just pay for it for that month, cancel it, and the book's still yours.
Oh, that's not so bad.
Because I don't pay for Audible anymore, and I've still got all my audiobooks.
So, so you get a free book of Audible when you sign up, do you?
Yeah, they basically the subscription is
So what?
every time
there's 3 books of series. One is only 3 lots of email addresses,
or just pay for pay £7 or £8 for 3 months, and there you go, you've got your...
Oh, you get a free one every month, do you?
Yeah, so the subscription goes that whilst you are subscribed, you, depending on what tier you subscribe at, you'll get like 1 credit or 2 credits every month, or however many you've subscribed for per plan, and you can spend those credits on books, whatever they are.
So you don't do bullshit like this book's 2 credits.
No, it's a credit per book.
Okay.
You could
so why don't you call it credits? Why don't you call it a book? This is Microsoft points all over again.
Yeah, pretty much. But
no, if it's Microsoft points, you get a credit every month, but each book would be 1.5 credits.
Yeah, that's about right. That sounds like a good deal.
Yeah. Yeah. Every book's an odd number of credits, but you can only buy in even numbers.
That does seem about right. But Audible's not bad.
I'll have a look
I
into it.
use Audible, audiobooks.com, and the Google ones.
Yeah.
Google's audiobooks.
I've never really done much in the way of I know it's not books, but music. I've never sort of subscribed to any streaming services for music because generally when I'm using music, I'm not anywhere of a decent enough connection.
So, in my opinion, music streaming service, the best one, right? Fucking don't fucking kill the messenger here. Google Music.
Yeah.
Why Google Music? I hear everyone screaming. Why not Spotify? Why not Deezer? Why not Amazon Music? Because Google Music, by default, says, hey, we'll let you upload. I think when I started using it back in the day, it was 20,000 songs for free from your own catalogue, and you can just stream those whenever.
What, you upload them to their server?
Yes.
How does that get round the UK copyright laws of transfer of formative media?
Fuck knows. It doesn't.
I can understand if let's look at your hard drive, see what you've got on there. Okay, you've got these songs on here. We've also got those songs. You can now stream those for nothing.
Apple did that initially with the Apple Music stuff. But Google just literally says, if you've got a DRM-free version of a song, put it on, and as long as you're logged in, you can stream this file from the web client or from your phone or whatever. So what I have done in the past is bought music off Amazon, be it an MP3 or an actual CD, ripped it, and then uploaded it to Google. I have tried Spotify. I do currently have a Spotify subscription, and I fucking hate it. The user interface on the app is absolutely garbage. It often disconnects from whatever it is you're trying to either cast to or stream to. And when a license expires, you ain't listening to that music. Even if you've already listened to it before and you've saved it, you ain't listening to it anymore. They'll just grey it out and say you can't listen to it.
Nice.
So, and again, it's all down to licensing and availability in your region. Not all record labels will be up for streaming music on stuff like Spotify. So what I've gone and done is like so for example, I like some really weird music or game soundtracks and stuff.
Yeah.
Spotify does have a lot of those on there, but there are some things they don't. Google Music, I'm like, well, I already have them on CD, ripped, bam, they're on there. Now I can stream them. I don't have to pay for it.
What I find particularly annoying, music of anything, I can semi understand it with TV series. Very semi. Music. Region locking music.
It is annoying.
It is fucking ridiculous. There was an album I wanted. It was a game music album. Only available on iTunes in the US.
Yeah, dude.
Not available in the UK.
Don't. I see it all the time. Do you know what really pisses me off?
What is the point?
Even when you say about films, if a film has had, a UK, European, whatever, PAL region launch, don't take it away. Like, oh, yeah, license has expired. It's gone now. It's like, oh, okay. That was there last week. Yeah, we ain't got the license for it anymore. It's gone. It's gone. Do it with games as well. Oh, yeah, license expired. It's gone.
Or at least give you warning.
Yeah.
All you have to do is say, this film is being removed from the service in a month's time. Here's your warning. It gives you you go, okay, well, in a month's time, I'm not going to be able to watch that anymore. I've got a month now to watch it, rather than say just disappearing.
Yeah.
Because I've had that on, Netflix where I've had stuff in my wishes and it's just gone. It's like, hang on a second.
Yep.
Where's
I've had it
that
on the
gone?
Nintendo Switch on the eShop. Like, you've got it in your wish list, and all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, this is no longer available for purchase. You're like, oh.
Yeah, I had that with Far Cry 4. Did that? It was I was on Steam, right? Perfect. Okay, I was on Steam, add to my wish list, and some months went by. Went into Steam and I was like, why is Far Cry 4? Its picture disappeared. The title's still there, but the picture's disappeared. I thought that's odd. Clicked on it, no sign of it. It says this cannot find the store page. So I just do a bit of quick. I Google for it. Steam. Okay, go on it. Go on Steam's website. It's there. That little drop down from US to UK. Boom, disappears. Because suppose this is what I got told. And it's on Reddit, so it must be true.
Of course.
Ubisoft signed an agreement with Game, the UK chain, that they wouldn't publish any of their games on digital platforms for, I think, 2 weeks after launch in the UK, so as not to compete with Game.
Ugh.
So I thought, so you think people who tend to buy stuff digitally are now going to go, well, I guess I'll go buy a physical copy? Because I tell you what, I'm trying to wait the 2 weeks.
Yep.
I buy stuff digitally. The reason I buy it digitally is there's more reasons. I just don't want to go to Game. That's one. Laziness is one of the reasons I buy stuff digitally. But there are other reasons why I buy stuff digitally. That means I won't go to Game and buy a hard copy of it. So I ended up having to wait, and then it came over, and fortunately it released. They thought to be fair, when they did release it, they released it at a discounted price.
Yeah.
So fair.
I mean,
that seems to be a very short-lived thing. So that hasn't happened again.
Well, we recently lost. Well, I mean, it's not down to stuff like Game and that, but like recently, DuckTales Remastered was pulled from Steam because they lost the licensing for it. Platinum Games Legend of Korra got pulled from Steam because they lost the license for it.
Vice City temporarily disappeared from Steam.
Yeah, because they lost the license to the music, I think.
Yeah, they've reappeared then, so obviously they decided to purchase licenses again.
Or they just took the music out they couldn't get licenses for.
You think that when they set that game up, they would have bought a license that would allow them to use it. You know, it's in the game now. Yeah. You think they'd have bought a license that would just allow, because you can't imagine a film being that situation where, oh well, this film can only be shown on TV because the music license has expired. Well, or to be fair though, we are talking. This is about 20 years after the game got released. So
artists these days are greedy as fuck, and if they think they can skin extra money, they will. They'll try.
I think it's more the
label.
It's more the label, and also more the slightly weird, but the overzealousness of the. I can't remember what the British one is called, but the sort of the people who represent the copyright in the UK for artists, they are insane. I mean, they're actually getting to the point now where they're almost like saying, right, we want you to buy it every single time you want to listen to it.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's getting to that sort of stage because they are fucking insane.
That's one of the reasons why I still like CDs. I mean, I still occasionally buy CDs. If I really like it, get it on CD. Ripper. I've got 2 portable media players, for fuck's sake, full of music. Yeah. If I don't have an internet connection, bam, got it. Yeah. I'm trying streaming services for like up until the end. Because, I told you, I'm even uploading my photos to like the whole. Oh look, they've gone to the cloud for backup and stuff. I'm trying to do what everyone else does.
Are you on Instagram now?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I don't post.
You got many followers?
Of course I fucking have. But I just
fake followers.
Yeah, all of them. They're all me. I'm trying to do what everyone else does, and I'm going to be honest with you, I don't see the appeal of it. I really don't. I mean, maybe the idea that you lose a hard drive and some of your stuff's still there, but streaming's inconvenient for me because of like the whole licensing thing. The quality's shit. The apps are generally shit. I'm having to pay every month for something that I can, like, the same price as the subscription to, like, Spotify or whatever. I could just go out and buy this CD. It's not like I'm like, oh, fuck, mate, I'm going to listen to 70 albums I've never heard before.
No.
This month. I'm going to be, oh, hey, this band has released a new album this month, and then 2 months later another band might release an album. Discoverability, maybe. Do you want to know what the ultimate way is? The ultimate thing to do?
No.
Fucking pirate it.
Yeah.
If they're going to be arseholes to you and not give it to you in a way that you want it, or a way that you have control of, pirate it.
Yeah. Well, we've always said. Valve have always said, piracy is a distribution problem.
Yes.
It's not. It's as long as the pirates offer a better service, they're going to take they're still going to do it. And Valve's answer to this was make their system good.
Yeah.
So the way to purchase games on Steam is so easy.
Yep.
Once you've got your card in there, I mean, you can click it. You can literally go, I want to play that game. Click, install it now. Click, and how long it takes you to install it. Done.
Yeah, job done.
But it's from you see it in the store to you starting the installation process takes about 10 seconds.
I mean, look at the horror now of films, distribution of films. Right? You wanna watch XYZ film. All right, Netflix. Let's say you got a Netflix, the kind of the premier streaming service. Oh, it's not on Netflix anymore. I have to get a Hulu account.
Well, not in the UK, you won't.
Yeah, but there's some shows, right? So I subscribe, because I'm trying the whole streaming thing. I subscribe to 2 anime providers. It used to be 3, but one of them's been shut down because, well, they went bankrupt. But I subscribe to 2 providers of anime. But there's one show, if I really want to watch it, gotta subscribe to Hulu, and Hulu ain't available over here.
No. VPN time.
Well, yeah, that and you have to get prepaid cards and stuff. So many hoops to jump through. Pirate it.
Yeah.
Same with there's a couple of films I wanted to watch. Are they on Google Music, or on Google Play? No. Amazon? No. Netflix? No. If I go to America, fuck yeah, they're there.
I also find it weird how some series are. So Amazon Prime annoys me because some things are charged for, some things are free.
Mm-hmm.
I fancied the other day. I fancy rewatching Babylon 5. I've got it on DVD, but it's easy to stream it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I ain't got the fun. I know that, but I ain't got the faff round. Open the
Find a disk
case.
drive, go find the DVD.
Exactly. So when I was out, I thought, I wonder if that Babylon 5 is on Amazon. Went on that. Yeah, it is. You have to buy it. It's not straightforward. That series came out nearly 30 years ago, and you want people to pay. Why haven't you licensed that free? The other series like Lex, and what annoys me though is Lex is a good example. Lex, right? First 4 seasons free, 5th season you got to pay for. Again, that came out about 15 years ago.
Here's a good one. Mythbusters. In the UK, what's the first season you can watch?
Oh, is it something like season 9?
3.
Yeah.
First 2 seasons aren't available in the UK.
They were at one point because I watched the first 2 seasons at one point.
Yeah, but
they're not now. No,
you can't now. So you have to go through a VPN to America to be able to
watch to
get the first 2 seasons. Even to buy the first 2 seasons from some of these sites like Amazon and stuff like that. There are plenty of other shows that we've watched that me and Inky have watched. We were watching Overlord, which is an anime. The first episode you could watch in the UK. The 3rd one. Season 1, press the button. First episode you can watch, 3.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's another thing about Babylon 5 that got me. So Babylon 5, before the series, they had a pilot called The Gathering. Okay, that is like the first episode that sets everything up, right?
Got 0.
Yeah, it's the episode because it's a pilot, and that's what they then allowed them. They then got was good enough. They got the next series, right? Not on Amazon. Season 1's on there. The pilot isn't.
Huh.
The thing that sets up the whole series for you, that ain't on there.
Anywhere else?
Well, you can buy it off Amazon as a DVD.
Oh.
But you can't watch it on the streaming service.
That is so annoying. So consistency is also another good thing, folks.
It's been listed by a third-party seller, to be fair. But yeah, it's just like why?
Much like Square Enix and the Dragonquest thing, right? If you've got a service going on here, people, do it right, please. If you're gonna offer a certain season or a certain show or certain film, give us all or nothing. Stop fighting with each other over licenses. I am not going to pay for 1 million different services for something that I can't keep just so I can watch one show.
Yeah.
Or season 1's over here, season 2's over there. Just sod off. It's not worth the effort. I would rather go out and buy VHS tapes at this point. I would rather burn my eyeballs. No, but that's what I mean. I would rather go to a car boot sale and find some tramp's pissed over VHS collection and fish through that than pay for a lot of these streaming services. They're absolute bollocks. And the apps are crap. All the apps are crap. Who the fuck is designing your applications?
Yeah, I've told you my beef with Now TV, haven't I?
Mm-hmm.
Now TV, which is the streaming service at Sky.
Oh yeah.
And my fight with them over how bad their service is. The fact that if you activate too many devices on them, you're locked out. You can't. You only allowed to activate a certain number of devices every month. You can have a certain number. You can only use one at a time.
Mm.
But you're only allowed to activate or add to it like 3 devices. After that, you have to wait another month before you can remove one and add another one. So you can remove them, but you can't add and replace it.
Oh.
So you say you add 3. So I had PlayStation. I had one PlayStation app which I was watching Game of Thrones on.
Yeah.
Then I had it on my PC, and I was watching it on my phone.
Yeah. For
technical reasons, I had to delete the app from my PC and basically restart all. Went to try and add the PC again. Sorry, you can't watch this. Why not? Error code. You've added too many devices. I looked, and the devices was the old PC app, which doesn't work anymore. The PlayStation and the phone. I removed the old PC app, thinking that's free to slot up.
Wrong.
No, you can only have 3 a month, but even if you remove them, you can't add another one.
DRM is bollocks.
It was what? How does that make sense to anybody?
Mm.
How does that make sense? Fine, have a device you want to stream, but have a limit.
It's lazy.
I tell you that big security flaw, massive security flaw, horrendous security flaw. I was amazed at how bad it was. So, want to watch Game of Thrones? I go on PlayStation, load up the app. Fine, loads up. Game of Thrones pops up and goes, I watched the episode in there. Next episode, I want to watch it, but for technical reasons, TV was out of action. I had to watch it on my PC. Got to try and log in. Can't remember my password. Right, okay. Reset the password. Yeah, reset it all. Log the details in. Make a note of the password for when the PlayStation asks me for it.
And the PlayStation let you stay on.
It's never asked me for that password again.
Wow.
Right? And it gets worse. Right? Not only has it never asked me, but after it ended, I went onto the thing, signed it with my ID, new password onto the thing, because that checked. The PC version checked, make sure. Shut down all my subscriptions, every single one of them, right? On the PlayStation, if you go into it, you want to watch a film? Yeah, you need to reactivate the subscription. Do you want to do that? Yes, please. And it reactivates and starts charging me again via the PlayStation app.
Wow.
So if you gave your PlayStation away or so and didn't clear it off and left that on there, they can just keep reactivating it. I mean, that is unacceptable security.
Oh dear.
That is totally unacceptable. Why is it at no point is that app not phoning home to say, is this password still correct? On Netflix, if you change the password on Netflix, instantly the app kicks you out.
Yeah. So what we're
as
saying
it should do.
What we're saying is most of these streaming services are bollocks.
Now TV is.
Yeah.
Netflix. I've never had any trouble with Netflix. I've never had trouble with Amazon. I've never had any problems with them.
Mm.
But Now TV was just shocking. I was shocked at actually how bad that was. I mean, I've never known. I hear about security. I mean, that's just such a big wag of a security vulnerability, and I just hated it. I actually when it said reset and trying to leave them. Fuck me.
We have to call up the machine. Then
it actually begs you to stay. So it goes, hi, I want to leave. Okay. You want to cancel subscription? Okay. You sure you want to do that? Yes, I do. But look at these great shows you're going to be missing.
Yeah, no.
I want to cancel, yeah. But what about if you do this? No, I want to leave. We'll give you 3 months at half price. I want to leave. Look, this is your last chance. You sure you want to leave? Just let me fucking cancel my subscription. Okay, as you're leaving, could you please write in this box why you're leaving? So, I actually spent.
Did you write an essay?
Yes.
Wow.
They allowed me 1,000 words, 1,000 characters. That was their mistake. I writ 1,000. I used it all up. I had to edit it to get in space.
He wrote it all in Japanese, so he could.
I said every fault with the system, and ultimately, when I click cancel my subscription, just a confirmation in case it's accidentally. That's fair enough. then cancel my subscription. Don't beg me to stay.
Yeah. No, that does annoy me as well. Or when they bury the you cancel subscription thing or close your account thing. I hate it when they bury that under like 15 other menus.
Yeah.
Before they'll even. There was another account we had. You couldn't close it through the website. You had to phone them.
Oh, I've had stuff like that.
And not only did you have to phone them, you had to go through the Gate Guardian first. So that, you had to go for the automated service and then fight to get in contact. Because the Gate Guardian wouldn't actually let you cancel.
No.
And then you'd end up being put on hold, and you're like, look, this could have just literally been a close account button.
Yeah.
And then, verification through email, and then done. Your service isn't that important.
Yeah.
I mean, it is for you.
I had one service many years ago, and that was some game-related service. I think, and it was one of the ones you signed like I did at the time. You sign up and then you realise it's shit. I think it was like you got sent promotional codes or something like that. I went to cancel it, and could I work out to cancel it? There was a similar thing. You had to go to his phone and so forth. Try, I couldn't get through. In the end, I went to my bank and just cancel direct debit.
Mm-hmm.
And
I've had to do that a few times
yeah,
too.
and then message going through. Oh, we want to take money from your bank. It appears to be an issue direct. You need to contact them to sort this out. Another one comes through. Still can't do it. You really should contact these guys to sort this out. Another one through. Look, if you don't sort this out, we're going to cancel your account. Yay!
Thank you.
Thank you. Now I say, look, you got like a day to cancel. We're cancelling your account. Like seriously, we will cancel your account.
You've got 15 minutes.
Yay! All right, next one. We've cancelled your account. If you wish to sort it out, click here. No.
We haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah. It's like, thank you. I say that's the best way to get rid of you is just delete your direct debit and let them cancel it for you.
And the trouble is though, a lot of these, well, I wouldn't say a lot of them, but I have this vision that in the future, some of these services are going to say, well, if you default on a subscription, or let's say it's a rental store, or you can purchase digital goods. If you don't manage to make a payment, they ban you, and then you lose access to your entire library.
Yeah.
I have this vision of the future where, just imagine Steam. I don't know, you've got a subscription going on with Steam as well. You can buy things and you can subscribe, and then just, I don't know, one day you manage to fuck up, and it's just you can't pay it.
Yeah.
And because they bounced you, oh, you've got bad credit now.
I have because I think they like the money too much. They'd rather have money from somebody who might.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I
get that.
They like money too much. For
I
that.
just have this vision. There is going to be an asshole company one day that's going to go, all right, there you go. There's all your stuff gone. Kind of like how I see YouTube at the moment.
Yes.
It's all fine and well that you upload all your stuff there, but
you've got to bear in mind any service you use. Ultimately, if it's being supplied by somebody else, they have the ultimate power over it.
Yep.
I mean, even a backup service and so forth, backup services can go under.
Yep. I do try and say that to people who are like, oh, I'm all right. I've got all my photos and my videos uploaded to the cloud. It's like, who used to say they don't go down, dude?
Yeah.
They won't. They're huge. It's like loads of companies are huge. They go down. They go under every day.
Yeah.
But anyway,
shall we wrap up?
Yes. I don't like streaming services, and I don't use the internet that much.
No. And you just mentioned about the sort of artists willing to sign their rights to these companies to then deal with all the work effort of finding their royalties, so the artists can't bother to do it themselves. I'm summarising a bit there. Well, anyway, thank you very much for watching. I've been TheSuffolkRam.
Skazz.
You can, for the audio listeners, if you ever want to join us, you can join us on youtube.com/rannerds. We broadcast every fortnight. Our next broadcast date, well, I will tell you shortly while I'm doing that. You can also just go to our website, rannerds.com, which will redirect you to somewhere else, but don't worry, it's absolutely fine.
You keep saying that we're going to change that. We never do.
I am going to change. Actually, change that would be a good time to change podcast hosting, because change that will obviously disrupt the URL for the podcast. So if I go to switch podcast, I'll then change the URL to the website as well at the same time.
You mean the feed?
Feed, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you paste a RSS URL feed.
Yeah.
It's a URL. You can also follow us on Facebook at Round Nerds. We have got a Twitter which is Round Nerds as well. These are all linked on the website as well, if you can't be asked. But yeah, our next broadcast will be on October the 12th at 9:30.
Are you sure?
GMT +1. Yes, I am sure. I am adding to. Oh, you see, because now
You adding the one?
look, I have a calendar.
He's got a reminder.
Yeah, that reminds me. It's for some reason set to 3 p.m., but it reminds me every 2 weeks.
I was gonna say it gives you plenty of time.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm in Glasgow.
What the fuck?
And also look forward to at some point we're going to be doing a Halloween stream.
Yes.
And so what game we're going to play?
No more Silent Hill, please.
No, I won't do Silent Hill. I think the game is called Project Zero.
Oh, is that the photography one?
Yeah, I was thinking about that one. We have to fight ghosts with a camera.
I think I played that years ago. Didn't get very far in it, to be fair. Oh, random note. What was that boaty game called again?
Which boaty game?
The boaty game we played in the 24 hours.
Oh, Return of the Obra Dinn.
Coming to the Nintendo Switch.
Oh, cool.
So, you know.
You can play it?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
getting confused.
Fuck yeah. I'm going
Yeah.
to get really confused. I'm going to be like, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah. Actually, I could see why that could work. That would work very well on the Nintendo Switch because there was basically hardly any interface controls.
Mm-hmm.
So that would work very well.
Though.
Very pretty. Very pretty. Mm-hmm. So we look forward to joining us then. So for me, TheSuffolkRam.
Skazz this again.
See you in a fortnight.
Yay!
Bye. Fatal Frame. Yes, that's the Japanese name of it. I think the Japanese American name is Fatal Frame. It was called Project Zero over here.
Project Zero.
I'll have to dig out the PlayStation for that.
Wait, which PlayStation?
PS2.
I've still got your memory card for that here.
Have you?
Yeah, you left it here. You left the memory card here. It's next to the TV.
I have a memory card. Why did I leave a memory card for?
Not quite.